So this is my presentation about my company Trojan Vapes. So if we go on to slideshow and we press from start. So Trojan Vapes, and there is my logo there. My vision and mission statement for Trojan Vapes. As you can see, it says "Vape Your Way." I think it's a very clever play on words. The fact that customers can vape their own way in regards to e-liquid, rather than vaping e-liquid that comes from certain companies and they choose what they produce and what they market. The customer from Vape Your Way can essentially choose any flavour they want to mix to produce, and we'll produce. Trojan will produce that e-liquid and ship that out to them. And there we go, that vape your way, that your aspect, the VIP treatment, is the main essential that we want to get across, and therefore is our mission statement. On the slide, we also have the vision of Trojan Vapes is to be the leading e-liquid supplier in the next 3 years, to be the only company to provide a new service which enables customers to tailor make their e-liquid, like I've previously mentioned. Trojan Vapes will also be competing with the big names in the industry, such as V-Juice, Witchcraft and Space Jam, which is all on the screen currently. And it also is to create both a unique product and user-friendly internet interface in which customizing e-liquid is made easy and hassle-free. And what I mean by this is rather than emailing suppliers what flavours you want, we'll have a list of flavours on our website, and the customer can simply click, choose the flavours, choose the nicotine strength of their e-liquid. That will be sent to the factory, be produced, and then shipped out to the customer. Our opportunities. Okay, so most vaping customers are focused to either or are forced, to either tobacco or fruit flavors. Okay, this means there is a market for space for a company to introduce new flavors, mixes of flavors, whether that be 2 flavors, 3 flavors, 4 flavors, you name it. That is all set down to the customer's requirements. Okay, there's also passion involved. All right, each customer will experience, like previously mentioned, that VIP treatment, knowing that they have individually chosen each of their flavors. All right, that means that the likelihood that any other customer out there has chosen exactly the same flavors is quite slim, given that customer that VIP factor, knowing they're vaping a juice, a mix that they've mixed that no one else has got around the country. There are very limited products by competitors, which will enable customers to experience more than one, if 2 flavors at the same time. And that's when Trojan Vapes comes into this niche market. A lot of these vaping companies produce, like I said, their tobacco fruit flavors. Trojan wants to turn that on the head, give the customer control of what they want to vape, thus providing a service in which they can choose which flavors they want to produce. We'll produce them and send them out. The proposition, okay, we want to provide more than just an e-liquid that's on the shelf. You go into one of the sole traders on the high street, and they have a variety of different liquids produced by different customers. But like I said, they're only set flavors. Okay, our USP enables Trojan to interact and create a relationship with the customer. We provide a service for each user to add their own touch to what e-liquid they want to order, and therefore experiencing the best vaping experience, like I've said. Our online store gives the easiest access via all tablets and devices, so wherever you are in the world, in the UK, or the world, just get up your smartphone, your tablet, your devices, click onto our website, or just below that bullet point, we do have an app available. All customers do, they set up their profile, log into the app, customize their e-liquid, or in fact renew the e-liquid that they've previously made if they really like it, and therefore process the order further on from then. So our competitor analysis. All right, Porter's 5 forces, as you can see, it just has a brief explanation on the competitive analysis in the market. Okay, so we do have competitive rivalry as a whole. Our big brands, like previously mentioned, are V-Juice, our Witchcraft, and our Space Jam. All right, they're big names in the industry and have been around for a long time. This meaning customer loyalty, customer brand loyalty to them will be very, very powerful. And such a small company within ourselves will fight really hard to get into the market. Okay. Another point is their threat of new entry. Big names adopting the idea. So if one of these big names saw our idea, although we have a patent on that, they've got the money, they've got the funds, resources to do exactly the same as us, and potentially forces out the market, which links onto the next point of that buyer power. Okay, like I said, the brand buying out little brands, as it were. So if we want to come to the market with a little idea, that dominatory sort of industry with the big names, they can see our idea, like previously mentioned, and buy out, or in fact create their own sort of customizable liquid. Supplier power, they have very, very strong connections with their suppliers, thus giving them the chance to adapt what they bring in, what they can bring in, or what they can manufacture. And finally, substitution will mean that other companies will get customers to switch to the reliable and strong service that they provide. All right, like I said, they've been around for a long, long time and have been very successful, thus meaning that the customers are very satisfied with the products they produce. Our marketing strategy for Trojan. Okay, we've got 4 sections. We've got target market, competitive advantage, product positioning, and value proposition. Okay, so just first of all, our target market would be for the 18 plus range. Okay, you cannot vape unless you are 18 and over. So from there, we can scrap out all the youngsters and go straight into the adult sort of range. We also produce products for the people who are switching from smoking. People who are interested in premium juice, so it would be the working to upper class market. People who just want more than just your standard product flavors, like previously mentioned. Someone who wants to try vaping, someone who wants to come into the market and try completely different products, rather than being forced to the standard tobacco and fruit flavors. If we look at competitive advantage, our USP enables Trojan to push forward in the development market. No other company offers this service, therefore, us being the first, customers will be very, very attracted to the service we provide, and customers wanting a slight change can come to Trojan straight away with the internet accessibility and our online app. Product positioning. Online store enables access from any device whatsoever, like previously mentioned in the previous slide. Online means customers from all around the UK can purchase the product wherever they are, as long as they have a Wi-Fi connection. This means any customer wishing to customise juice can do so easily and receive the products by delivery. And finally, our value proposition: to offer a service that puts the VIP in both the customer and the product, giving a customer a chance to customise their juice to their needs, being satisfied with the end product. Okay. If the customer does produce that juice, then they are completely satisfied knowing that they have been involved in all the steps from the juice, from the nicotine strength, to even to the size of the bottle, 30ml, 10ml, 50ml, even 100ml. Okay, the customer chooses exactly what they want, therefore benefiting their satisfaction at the end. Our objectives and time scale. Okay, as you can see, Trojan run by SMART targets, which stand for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timed. Okay, and there's the reference for that. The biggest goal with Trojan Vapes is to establish a strong brand name and to compete with the competitors within the next 2 years. The goal within Trojan is specific, as it has a defined objective. The goal is very, very measurable, as you can monitor the popularity and sales through the website, etc. The goal is also achievable, with the USP being like no other competitor on the market, and links back to being very, very realistic target to achieve within the company. The goal also has a timescale of 2 years, which is again very achievable, given that timescale within the future projection of the industry. All right, so they're the SMART targets and objectives for the company. So, moving on to our marketing plan, Trojan Vapes aim to control the new market with customised e-liquid around the UK. The route will mean to target smokers who want to change, and secondly, existing vapers who want to change from the boring liquids they currently own, such as the tobacco and the fruit flavours. Promotion. We have social media will enable our brand to be advertised on every Facebook and Twitter feed to attract customers. And also we rely on raving reviews, discounts and special offer buys to attract more customers. And finally, on this slide, visitor experience. Customers obviously want to feel that VIP factor when they produce their own liquid, therefore giving us the advantage like no other company. All right, if a customer comes into the shop to buy, say, Witchcraft or Space Jam, that individual company has no recollection of the customer whatsoever. They're interested about the sales, right? With Trojan, we create a customer profile on our app, meaning that we are involved with every customer going, okay? And once they produce e-liquids and start mixing their flavours, we can contact them, see how they're getting on, and just give them a more user-friendly and very, very satisfied, secure customer experience. So our marketing budget. In the first year of trading, Trojan spends a total of £500 on advertising at the moment. His effective price as Trojan brands needs to be out there in the market. This cost can include billboards, website fees, and many other aspects of vehicle advertising on our vans, etc. Another form of marketing which will be in our budget will be our website marketing. This will increase costs, however, drive up the traffic, all right, filtering through the websites. We can also email marketing. Although this would take a lot of time, it has been researched that 5.14% of hobby customers and trafficked email just get through to a click-through site. So the traffic from there, although it is time costly and probably not the most effective method, it is very cheap to do. To ping out a few 100,000 emails and even to get that 5.14% of returns will mean that the business will increase its revenue, thus giving the customer and any other customers a great satisfied feel for the product. Okay, moving on to our sales forecast. Okay, so this is our sales forecast from startup in year one. In the first year of sales, the business was looking out in a positive direction, as you can see from that positive gradient there. Sales increase as the product becomes more popular, and there is a big spike around Christmas due to possibly New Year's resolutions about quitting smoking and therefore switching to the e-cig industry. Okay, and obviously you can't smoke or vape an e-cig without any e-liquid, so that's where Trojan comes in. We try to change the market up and hopefully sway smokers to the customizable industry within our sales. Okay, so and ending year one, the profit at the end of year one was minus 120, but don't forget we do have all our startup costs, etc. As the forecast for year one is looking in a positive direction, that minus £120 isn't a huge knock. Moving on to year two. In year two sales, they started off high from the positive end to year one, as we just saw. As many people switched to the previous year, there was a slight downfall around Christmas due to maybe disposable income. Individuals maybe resulting in a cheaper e-liquid rather than the premium e-juice that Trojan sell. Okay, so obviously money is quite tight. Obviously people have switched from vaping from the year before, as we did say, but they've elected to choose that slightly cheaper e-liquid, maybe for, like I said, disposable income purposes. However, around the March-April time, we do see that sales do go up again and may fall around May. It is a very, very tight business. But moving on, year two does have a steady sort of incline, and the profit at the end of year two was £747. So the Trojan Vapes industry and the company itself are looking in a very, very positive direction. So moving on to our final forecast, which is the year three. Okay, year three allowed the business to pick up after the previous 2 years of trading. There was a steady income each month with another spike in January, suggesting that even more smokers switched to e-liquid, or that loyal customers still choose Trojan as it's the premium liquid and therefore increased revenue. Okay, throughout all three sales forecast sheets, you do see a positive incline, meaning that the business is slowly growing. Okay, and we've had a massive jump from year two to three, as the closing balance at year three was £24,233. So, to summarise on Trojan Vapes, okay, so it's a massive market opportunity which will enable existing and new customers to enter the new market of e-liquid, as we provide that customisable factor which no other company does. So there's limited direct competition, which means that the company will flourish into the new market. Like I said, our big competitors such as V-Juice, Witchcraft and Space Jam all produce e-liquids set to their specific needs, alright, and they don't have any relation to the customer whatsoever. So what I mean by this, they put out set flavours such as lemonade, raspberry, tobacco, mild tobacco, smoked strawberry, etc. And this doesn't allow the customer to really have much choice of what they want to smoke or vape. Like I said at the start of this presentation, Trojan USP is to customise and tailor-make premium e-liquid to the customer's specifications, meaning that the customer essentially has much control over what they vape. Okay, so they can choose, like I said, any flavour they want to choose, any nicotine strength, and the size of the bottle. Will package, will manufacture, will produce that specific requirements when it comes through to the factory, and then ship it out for the customer to enjoy and have a satisfied vaping experience. Just going back to the 4Ps, product, price, place, and promotion. So the product, like I've just mentioned, is customized e-liquid, which is the first on the market. The price, it is a fair price for the service and the product. A lot of 30ml e-liquid bottles retail for $7.99. However, our retail price is $9.99, but with that you do get the choice of 2, maybe 3 other flavours in that, so you are benefiting from that slightly increased price as well. It is obviously that premium e-liquid, so it has been tested in our labs, and we produce and we source the best ingredients to make the e-liquid for the required customer. Moving on to the place, like I said at the past couple of slides, we are an online company, which means that it's accessible to anyone out there wanting to vape, wanting to quit smoking, or just for the social reasons. Okay, and finally, promotion. Promotion is a massive part of Trojan's vaping industry to get the business going. We are on obviously social media. We do that email marketing, and we do have a website. So the promotion is very key for us. But like I said, being online, we can spread out much faster than being a sole trader on the high street. So like I said, there are obviously a cost to marketing, but our costs are very low. Being on the internet, we only have varied website fees, and advertising fees come with that. So it's quite low marketing costs. And just to link back to the previous slide, those smart objectives being implemented to all aspects of the business. So there we go, guys. That is my presentation on my company, Trojan Vapes. Just to summarise quickly, obviously I've talked through the marketing strategies, the budgets, etc., what we offer as a company, and it's finally resolved by our sales forecasts, which you can see a positive direction for the company. And there we go, there's my references. All 4 have enabled me to write this presentation. And other than that, I thank you very much for listening.